Well, hey there, this is Jerry, and I was getting started on another episode of What's Broke Today. And today, it's not necessarily about what's broke, but if you watch my videos, I'll be working on my 92 Dodge Dakota. I don't know that I said enough about some of the tools I used. So what I'm going to start out with is, and this is a made in China thing. Yeah, it has a part number of B like boy 2096. And this is for doing the bushings on the control arms. So we've got the C part of our C clamp, and then that through there, and then this goes on there, and there's a O-ring inside of there, and it come with extra O-rings for inside and outside. So when I was pressing them apart, I was using this deal on the outside, and then I got 3 different versions of this that fit in here. There we go, like that. And that way they'll slide over the shaft on the upper control arm, and then this will push against the bushing. Oh. So, yeah, that'll push against the bushing. And the objective on picking the right one of these is one that hits this outer metal shell and, the closest, which for this is probably the middle one. And so when that's in there, then the control arm's here, and that's there, and then, oh, cat's knocking things over. And then this goes on the outside. The biggest thing that I don't like about, and this is the first vehicle I use this kit on, is this is so much bigger than our bushing outside that this needed to be smaller in diameter. And I may end up getting some pipe and steel and making a smaller one of these next time I use it, so it's more in tune with what I need for my bushing size. And then once you get it pressed apart, we have assistance. Then it comes time to put them back together, and like the bushing easily fits through the hole there. And then we've got this, which would snap on here, just like this did, went up on the screw. And depending on the size of your bushing, you've got, and this bushing is not in very good shape, but I can't remember, I was using one of these fit over the new bushings really well, so that it pushed on the metal frame, and then we just hook it over the control arm, and it'd press it through, and that would go, so we could seat it up in there all the way, and then that would go through and not interfere. So, and I got this off of eBay. Seems like it was around $60 or $70. I've had it quite a while because I bought it with the whole intent of using it on my Dodge Dakota, and also have it if I need it on something else. But as far as everything in the kit works good except for that. So we're going to do something different with that. That out of the way. One of the other things I bought, which when I worked in shops before, seemed like they always had these as a shop tool, but it's a special made socket that matches up to the shape of these ball joints. And these are the upper ball joints on a lot of Chrysler and Mopar products. Even though it don't look like much, those do make up threads. And then that goes over the top, locks in, and you can either use a big breaker bar or, like I did, use the impact and take them out. And since they've been in there for over 30 years, I did heat where it went through the control arm. I heated up the control arm in the area of these threads to kind of expand it a little and make them come out easier, and then put them back in with a ratchet and then just hit them with the impact to make sure they're good and tight. But yeah, I don't know where they come up with that idea, but it does work. Okay. Now the other thing I got here, this is made by KD Tools. It's a part number 3421, and it's a ball joint and U-joint press. And it comes with the big C-clamp with the screw, 3 pieces of pipe for different size ball joints. So, and I'm going to use my screw in as an example. But, you got to find the one of these that fits over so you can press the ball joint out. Or you could even, see this one has a big hole in it. You could actually even use it to press one out. And basically we're going to have the well, like what I was doing was I needed the one that went over here so I could push, and get it out. That with using those. Yeah, that grease on that's nasty. And then you had to have the bigger one that went on the other side that the ball joint would go through, and use it with the other one of these. And depending on the situation, sometimes you've just got, this in there, and then just using this so that, because you only got so much space in between there. And I always like say this, I had the control arm off, so it works a lot better because I go out and use my shop press, basically, put that on the bottom, so we're like that, and then I could use one of these with this on the top side and push it out using the shop press, which works so much easier on stuff like a 2-wheel drive. Now, when you're dealing with something that's 4-wheel drive, the spindle off a 4-wheel drive don't fit in the shop press to do that. So, but just to put all this away. And then, of course, sometimes you make your own, depending on what you're doing. And this is that piece I was using when I was pressing out lower control arm bushings. And that's just a piece of 2-inch pipe. Also got to put things back in the right spot or the lid don't close. But regardless, that's that. Now, I didn't use any of this, but this is Central Pneumatic add-on kit for 4-wheel drives. So we've got different versions of these, longer pieces of pipe, and some more different sizes, goofy shapes, depending on what you're working on, and different versions. And you almost need this kit and then just go through it and find what works for your situation, because sometimes you just don't know. But this is mainly for doing 4-wheel drive, where you've got the solid front axle and you're knocking the knuckle off and the ball joints are in the steering knuckle. Well, this helps you adapt and get on there to press them apart. My cat's talking to me. I think we're only missing one piece out of here, and I don't even remember what it was. It's right here, but you just never know what you're going to need. And like this is almost identical. Let's open that up. Where I originally had this, I mean, that is almost the same thing. So I don't really need that now, but I keep it because it does come in handy. But yeah, probably four-wheel drive solid front axle is the hardest ones to do. All right, so of course the Harbor Freight Central Pneumatic, or I think it's from Harbor Freight regardless, but it's the four-wheel drive adapter set. Now the other thing I use, and I didn't buy this; it was given to me, but is for doing coil springs on, say like the Dodge. Originally they was thinking about you doing it with the hooks, hooking the spring and then compressing it down, like so. But for what I usually do is leave this on there because where the shock goes in the top, that fits really good. And then this is long enough to usually go down through the center of the coil spring, and I can just spread those out, hook the coil spring, and then just tighten her down and pull that up so I can get the control arm and the spring back together. And this does not have any name on it, but I'll almost bet you could just Google spring compressor and find one of these fairly easy. But when you need it, it does come in handy. And then the other tool you'll see when I'm in the alignment video is the help adjust it tool. I think this is actually snap-on. Yeah, it is a snap-on upside down, a WA171D like dog. But anything that's got slots in the frame where the control arm slides in and out, it'll have a hole for this to go in. Put that down in the hole, hook that over that crossbar in the upper control arm, and then you can loosen, like say if I want to move the rear out or in a little, well I can loosen the front one enough where it'll rotate but it won't slide, loosen the rear one up enough where it'll slide, and then the way this hook is made, I can pull it either out or in, or push it in, because I get down in the frame and then I can do back and forth and move that. And depending on what you're working on, you can, change this around and move it up the next, up one hole, and you need to be farther up off the frame with this little hook. And you can even flip it around on the other side depending on how the handle clears. But that comes in real handy. And of course, the last part for doing that alignment is a tape measure. And I just use it to measure toe in, and then just use standard hand tools to adjust the tie rods. Okay, well, I was in there editing videos, and I realized I didn't show a good shot of my camber caster checking tool, which is this is more I use it for caster than anything. But I don't know what brand this is, but it's made in China. This one came off of eBay, but you can buy the same thing on Amazon. And basically, it's got a magnet on the end. It's got two bubble levels, and one, does the tilt of this like left and right, and the other one does the up and down. And what I do with this, and let me get the camera. So this tool, basically, when I was putting it on the truck, initially I had the wheels perfectly as straight as I could get them, front to back. And then I stuck this up on the hub here and got it as close to the center as I could, and then turned it so that this bubble out here was level. Then I turned the steering wheel a half a turn to the left, and then there's a thumb wheel on the bottom, and I just turned it till I brought that bubble where it was perfectly in the middle, and I didn't have that centered up in my dust cap very well. There we go. But yeah, with the thumb wheel, I can turn this and then zero it out. As best I can. And I turn the wheel one full turn, so it's one half a turn to the right. And then I come over here and look and see how far this bubble moved. And with the caster, the angle of the ball joint here, instead of it turning, evenly, it more or less, it rocks, as it turns. So I look and see what it reads, do my half a turn to the right, read it again, and then whatever my reading is what I consider my caster. I don't know if that is, say if we had the shop manual, I don't know how far you're supposed to turn, because they actually would measure it in degrees. If you're on a regular alignment machine, especially all these new computerized ones, it would tell you how to turn and when to stop. And then you'd either hit a button, and I think even they got them now where, you don't have to do anything. You just turn them and you stop, and then you turn them back and it reads it. But I haven't been in a shop with an alignment rack in damn near 25 years. So, but this works really well for getting our caster set. And then, of course, I use my bubble level, and the smoothest part you can get on the outside edge of the tire without being right down here is your best area. So, but I just thought I'd better look at this tool, and of course, there's our thumb wheel, and our two levels, and a magnet. So, and you can get one of these, like I say, off of eBay or Amazon. I mean, whatever works for you. And yeah, so I'll get on with the rest of the video. But yeah, I just thought that'd be a good deal to go through and show you all the different tools I use, with the specialty socket, which I don't even remember who made this. This is a Matco, and this is a 2 1/8, and it's S-SAM P-Paul S-SAM 33 is that, and there's two different sizes of that. I think this is, I don't remember if this is the big one or the small one, but I got both of them. I bought them as a set. That I think the only thing of this, well, I bought the uh, control arm bushings C-clamp press, it new, and I bought this KD ball joint set new. Everything else I bought used, because the way the internet is now, you go on eBay and find all this stuff, and not, you get, a tool that you need and spend a third of what it costs if you bought it new. And like this one for doing the control arms, I hate to guess what these things cost when they was new, but I think I gave $28 or $29 for this, and then so a little bit of shipping. But You know, it's money well spent because it's hard to move those control arms in and out just a little bit without having a tool like that. So, but yeah, that'll wrap up my tools used to rebuild the front end of the Dodge. That I appreciate you watching, and I'll say anybody out there that's not a subscriber better join on in because it's no telling what else you'll see on What's Broke Today. Thank you.